Marcus didn't look up when I walked into his office that Tuesday morning. He was typing, fingers jabbing at the keyboard like he was killing something small and annoying. I stood there for a good 15 seconds before he finally glanced up, eyes flat, no recognition of the 9 years I'd spent building the client retention system that kept this firm alive. "Have a seat," he said, gesturing to the chair across from his desk like I was a vendor he was about to lowball. I sat. He slid a folder across the polished wood. Clean, neat, pre-printed, the kind of folder HR hands you when they've already made up their mind and the conversation is just theater. "We're restructuring," he said, using that voice people use when they're pretending something hard is actually easy. "Your position is being eliminated. We'll need you to transition your accounts to Brian over the next 2 weeks." Brian, the CEO's nephew, 26 years old, thought CRM stood for Client Relationship Magic. I'd trained him for 3 months last year. He still didn't know how to pull a usage report without calling IT. I didn't say anything, just looked at Marcus, watched his jaw tighten when I didn't react the way he expected. People like him need you to cry or argue. It makes them feel powerful. I gave him nothing. "There's a severance package," he continued, tapping the folder. 2 weeks for every year of service. We think that's fair." Fair. 9 years of 60-hour weeks, of saving accounts he'd written off, of writing the entire client onboarding protocol they still used word for word. And he was offering me 18 weeks. I opened the folder, scanned the first page, standard boilerplate. Then I flipped to page 7, and I smiled. Not big, just a small one. The kind that sits in the corner of your mouth and doesn't move. Marcus noticed, his eyes narrowed. "Something funny?" "No," I said, closing the folder, just remembering something. I stood, smoothed my skirt, and walked out. Didn't take the folder, didn't sign anything, just left it sitting there on his desk like a menu I wasn't interested in. I'd been with the firm since the merger, back when we were barely 30 employees and the software systems were held together with Excel macros and prayer. I built the client database from scratch, migrated 5,000 accounts by hand, wrote the retention algorithms that predicted churn before clients even knew they were unhappy. And when they rewrote my employment agreement in 2019, after the second funding round, I added something, just one clause. Buried on page 7 under a section titled Role Modification and Compensation Adjustments. Section 12.3. If the employee's role is eliminated or materially reduced without mutual written consent, all deferred equity vests immediately at the highest valuation recorded in the prior 18 months, and severance multiplies by a factor of 10. I wrote it myself, ran it past my attorney. She laughed and said, "If they sign this, they're idiots." They signed it. Nobody read page 7. They were too excited about the stock options and the performance bonuses. Legal skimmed it, saw standard language about equity and vesting schedules, and rubber stamped it. I got the signed copy back 3 days later, notarized, filed, clean. I kept a copy in my desk, another in my safe deposit box, a PDF in 3 separate cloud accounts. And I waited. Hey, before we go on, 97% of people listen to these stories without subscribing. If you're one of them, take a second to hit that subscribe button and like the video. It really helps us keep bringing these stories to you. Thanks for the support. I didn't go back to my desk. I went straight to the parking garage, sat in my car, and called my attorney. "They just eliminated my position," I said. "Did you sign the severance?" "No." "Good. Don't. I'll draft the notice." She had it ready by noon. 3 pages, clean, legal, devastating. Delivered by courier to Marcus's office at 2:47 p.m. Certified, time-stamped, with a copy to the firm's general counsel and the board. I got the call at 3:15. It was Jenkins, the senior partner, the one who'd shaken my hand at the holiday party last year and told me I was the backbone of client services. His voice was tight. "We need to talk about this notice your attorney sent." "I'm available tomorrow at 10, I said. "This is urgent." "Tomorrow at 10. I hung up. That night, I got an email from Brian. Subject line, "Quick question." He wanted to know where the client contact database was stored, not how to access it, where it was. Like it was a physical thing sitting on a shelf somewhere. I didn't reply. The next morning, I showed up at 9:50, walked into the glass conference room where Jenkins sat with Marcus, the firm's general counsel, and someone I didn't recognize. Expensive suit. She had the look of outside counsel, the kind you call when inside counsel says, "We have a problem." Jenkins tried to smile. It looked like it hurt. "Let's talk about this situation," he said, folding his hands on the table. "Which situation?" I asked. "The one where you eliminated my position, or the one where you're legally obligated to pay me?" The outside counsel spoke. Her voice was calm, neutral, the kind of calm that costs $400 an hour. "We reviewed your employment agreement. Section 12.3 is unusual. It's binding," I said. "We'd like to discuss alternatives." "There are no alternatives. You eliminated my role. The clause activates. It's very clear." Marcus leaned forward. "You can't seriously expect—" "I expect you to honor the contract you signed." The general counsel, a man named Peterson who'd approved my agreement without reading it, cleared his throat. "The valuation trigger is problematic. Our highest recorded valuation in the prior 18 months was during the Series C close. That puts your equity payout at $4.2 million, I said, plus severance multiplied by 10. That's another $216,000, so $4.4 million total." The room went silent. Marcus looked like someone had just explained death to him for the first time. "That's insane," he said. "That's page 7, I replied. Jenkins tried again. "Surely we can come to some kind of arrangement, perhaps a consulting role or—" "You eliminated my position. You can't uneliminate it because you don't like the math." The outside counsel made a note on her legal pad, slow, deliberate. Then she looked at Jenkins. "She's right. The clause is enforceable. If you eliminated her role without written mutual consent, the terms activate automatically." "This will bankrupt us," Marcus said. I didn't respond to that, just sat there, hands folded, face blank. Peterson spoke next. "What if we reinstate your position? You already filed the termination paperwork. It's time-stamped. The clause triggered the moment you handed me that folder. We didn't hand you anything. You didn't sign. You offered termination in writing. That's sufficient under the contract language. Check with your lawyer." The outside counsel nodded. "Once. Small." Jenkins rubbed his face. "This is a mistake, a misunderstanding. We can fix this." "You made the mistake 9 years ago when you didn't read what you signed. I can't fix that for you." I stood. "My attorney will send payment instructions. You have 30 days per the contract. After that, penalty interest accrues at 8% compounded daily." I walked out. They tried calling. I didn't answer. They tried emailing. I forwarded everything to my attorney. They tried showing up at my apartment. I called building security. On day 4, the systems started failing. Brian couldn't access the client database. Turns out, it wasn't just stored somewhere. It was a custom-built platform I'd designed with specific access permissions tied to role-based authentication. My role no longer existed. Neither did the access. He called IT called the vendor. The vendor said, "We built this to her specifications. She's the only one with master admin credentials." By day 6, 3 major clients had called asking why their account managers weren't responding. Turns out all the automated workflows, the reminder systems, the escalation protocols, I'd built those. And they routed through my now deactivated profile. By day 8, the firm's client retention score dropped 11 points. 2 clients gave notice. Another threatened to sue over missed SLA deadlines. Marcus tried to reach me directly. Left a voicemail that started with, "Let's be reasonable," and ended with something close to begging. I deleted it. On day 12, Jenkins called my attorney. "We're prepared to settle." "There's nothing to settle. You owe her $4.4 million. Pay it." "We'd like to negotiate a consulting arrangement. She helps us transition the systems. We pay her in installments." "No installments, no consulting. You eliminated her position. You pay the clause. That's the deal." They paid on day 28. Wire transfer, cleared at 11:06 a.m. on a Thursday. $4,400,000. No apology, no note. Just the money and a one-line email from Peterson. Payment remitted per section 12.3. I forwarded the confirmation to my attorney, then logged into my investment account and diversified it across 3 funds. Then I sent one email. To Brian. Subject, quick question. The database is gone. You'll need to rebuild it. Good luck. I didn't tell them I'd already signed with their biggest competitor. Didn't announce it on LinkedIn. Just started the following Monday. Same role, better title. Equity that vested normally. No tricks, because I didn't need tricks anymore. 2 months later, I ran into Marcus at a conference. He saw me across the lobby, froze, then tried to pretend he hadn't. I walked right up to him. "How's Brian doing?" I asked. He didn't answer, just turned and walked away. I didn't follow. Some people spend their whole careers hoping someone notices their value. I spent 9 years documenting mine, and when they stopped noticing, the paperwork did the talking for me.